Matas Buzelis, one of a trio of G League Ignite prospects that I expect to be taken in the first round. Now, Matas is around 6'10", 210 pounds, and he's a guy who has a lot of versatility. I think on the offensive end, he showcased an ability to shoot three ball, to get to the basket, to make plays for others. And then defensively, he was a guy who could rotate off the ball, get blocks, steals, deflections, and have a lot of variety to his game. And I would say also that he's a really fluid mover. Like for somebody his size, he seems to move pretty well. And that kind of shows in his ability to get up and down the court and then move off the ball. I would say those would be some of his strengths that I've noticed in his games. And overall, he was a guy who did improve, I would say, over the G League season. And there's certainly improvement to be had, because the first couple of games that I saw of Matas Buzelis, I was not impressed. And I'll be very honest, I didn't think he was a guy who showcased the physicality and toughness that's needed to play at the NBA level. He didn't seem like a guy who was ready and willing to engage with contact and seek out contact and be able to address it at the NBA level. And he struggled with it at the G League level, which is something that I have concerns about. Even with the fact that he improved over the year, I still think that's a major concern for me at the next level. And with that being said, for all of the offensive ability that he has, he's still, a lot of people think he could be a good playmaker, and there's certainly flashes that he showed of that. Just the inconsistency to me is the reason why I personally would not draft Matas Buzelis. Now, I definitely could be wrong, because there's a lot of flashes that say if he puts it together, he's going to make me look very stupid. And I'm okay with that, because I think for a guy who shot 26% from three in the G League, yes, he did shoot better in high school, but this is what we're basing it off of. And he shot 70% from the free throw line. So I just don't see a ton there to tell me that he's going to be a great shooter. He also had a negative assist to turnover ratio in his year. So there's just, and then also lastly, he didn't seem to have great shot selection. And that those few things to me go into the bigger problem I had with him, which was his overall basketball IQ. And I didn't see consistently a guy who really understood the game. I saw a guy who knew his skills, knew areas of the court where he could score from in practice, in areas where maybe he had drilled certain things, but it didn't seem like he was a guy who could see the game and had a great vision for the game in terms of where he should be and where his teammates were going to be. Now, some of that could be just the fact he's playing on G League Ignite, which quite frankly is not the best environment. Let's say that, not the best environment. You've got a ton of other young players who are looking to get to the NBA level. Then you've got these NBA vets who are there to try to support them, but they're also trying to continue their career. So it may not be the best light to see someone's basketball IQ, but from what I could see, I didn't have the best grade on it. Now, as somebody who's going to be 19 and a half at the draft, there's certainly plenty of time for him to improve. In terms of fit, Portland could be a good fit. They could certainly use some big wings. Washington needs a ton of talent, and Chicago is a team that I think is going to look to retool depending on what happens with DeMar DeRozan this summer. As far as the comp is concerned, personally, I had a really hard time coming up with a comp for Buzelis, so I don't have one. And range, I think he could go anywhere between 4 and 12 in this year's draft. Now, having said I personally wouldn't draft him, I wouldn't pick him in that range. I would take him outside the lottery if you fell that far. Okay, maybe it makes sense at that point to take a flyer on Buzelis, but I fully expect he will go in the top 4 to 12 in this year's draft. So a lottery pick for sure. And yeah, with that being said, I'm curious what you guys think about Buzelis. What are you seeing? that you think he's going to have success, or do you agree with me and think there's enough holes here that give you doubts to Buzelis' NBA future? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more great NBA draft content. See you next time. Peace.